Also, 3 years ago this week, a Republican got arrested during a total voter fraud backfire. This is one of the funniest stories that we covered, and I love it. Nevada Republican Roxanne Rubin tried to show how easy it is to commit voter fraud. So she showed up and tried to vote as someone else. She got caught and was arrested and ultimately struck a plea deal. So, number one, this entire voter fraud thing that the right wants to tell you about so that we pass all sorts of strict voter suppression laws that will disproportionately impact the poor and the non-white voters, it's a made-up problem. It's looking for a solution to a problem that doesn't exist. It is virtually unheard of that people are showing up and saying they are someone else and voting in their name. Almost doesn't happen, Lewis. But Republicans want to prove to us that it does happen. So Nevada Republican Roxanne Rubin showed up and did that, and the police were called because she was clearly trying to commit voter fraud and she got arrested. She essentially proved the opposite point. Not only is it not very common that people do this, people do get caught doing it. You did.
Yes. So I think that as things become more digital, the type of fraud we have to worry about
Changes.
is not people showing up to the polls claiming to be someone else.
Right.
That's not what we have to be worried about. So I'd like to thank her for reminding us of that.
And we have to be talking about this now, right? We always end up doing interviews about this like a month before the election when the sketchy stuff is always just completely out of control. We are currently working on some interviews and investigations related to voter suppression because now is the time. You know, I still am skeptical that we could really change anything, even if we activate now as opposed to in October of 2016, a month before the election. But we should at least do everything we can to get the sketchy voter suppression stuff that's going on out there. And we're working on it, Lewis, to the extent that we can.
I'm sure we'll see a lot more of it after the primaries. And I hope that we can have just a clean election, Dave.
Right.
That's all I'm hoping for.
We have a discussion forum available to you to discuss this or any other topics from the show on Reddit. Go to davidpakman.com/Reddit. That is REDDIT.